Good morning, Radix community. Captain Roburn here from Surge.Trade, Premier Perpetual Futures Dex on Radix. As the Radix Ignition program draws to an end in less than a week, there will soon be an influx of unlocked assets in search of high yields on Radix. So with that in mind, I wanted to spend a couple of minutes highlighting two great opportunities available on the Surge platform right now. The first, providing USDC to the Surge liquidity pool. At the time of this recording, this yields around 150% APY. And the second, delta neutral carry trading. By hedging longs with shorts, traders can earn up to 120% APY with very low risk. So first off, let's talk USDC and the Surge liquidity pool. The Surge liquidity pool is the heart of the exchange. Every time a trader opens a new position, it is the liquidity pool that takes the other side of that trade. Surge rewards liquidity providers to the pool in two ways. Firstly, a huge 70% of all trading fees are shared by our liquidity providers. In addition, since launch we've set aside 2 million SRG tokens to be distributed to liquidity providers over our first 180 days. Here we are on the Earn page of Surge. If we hover over the APY, we can see it is comprised of 110% from the SRG bonus and 47% from trade fees, totaling a massive 150% APY. Now before we go on, first a statement on risk. Firstly, the good news is there is no impermanent loss as the pool only contains one asset, USDC. However, it's not without risk. As I mentioned during the introduction, the pool is counterparty to every trade, so there could be instances where traders are disproportionately more profitable than the pool. If that disparity exceeds the fees and rewards earned by the pool, which is more likely over a shorter time frame, liquidity providers could end up with less capital than they initially deposited. Now, risk caveats given, let's explain how to add and remove liquidity. Using the widget at the center of the page, we simply select the Add tab and the drop-down to select either USDC or xUSD, which is the Surge equivalent. We select the amount of USDC to deposit and press Add Liquidity to send a transaction to the Radix wallet. Here we can review the transaction and see that SLP, which is the token representing liquidity, will be deposited in exchange for our USDC. After signing the transaction, we can see the UI updates to reflect our new liquidity position. Here we can see the value of our liquidity and our current reward balance in SRG. This will start to accrue for as long as we hold this liquidity position. There are no lockups when providing USDC for Surge liquidity. To remove liquidity, we simply select the Remove tab, the amount we wish to remove, and select Remove Liquidity. This sends a transaction to the Radix wallet, redeeming the appropriate amount of SLP for USDC, which upon signing is immediately deposited back into our account and the UI updates to our new liquidity balance. Here's a reminder of some of the considerations we need to make when providing USDC to the liquidity pool. Next up, let's talk about the second opportunity on Surge for earning yield using wrapped ETH and Bitcoin. Firstly, a word on funding rates. These are either paid or received by traders and seek to balance the skew between long and short positions. As a result, if traders are particularly bullish and outweighing short traders, this can reveal some very attractive funding rates. So let's take a look at Bitcoin and ETH. Funding rates for Bitcoin are shown here. If we go long, we can expect to pay a fee of 0.2% per day based on the value of our positions. As long positions are currently dominating, Surge incentivizes people to go short by paying those traders a fee of 0.2% per day, which equates to an APY of 67%. If we take a look at ETH, the opportunity is even greater. Because there is a bigger disparity between longs and shorts, a trader going short on ETH can currently receive a fee from Surge of 0.36% per day, equating to a massive 130% APY. So this leads us onto the strategy of exploiting those attractive funding rates, but without taking on the risk of prices moving in the opposite direction. The answer is a delta neutral carry trade, or put simply, regardless of whether prices rise or fall, we can earn the funding rate. So how do we do it? Firstly, we'll deposit some wrapped Bitcoin and ETH into our Surge account which we can use as collateral to trade with. Using the deposit tool, we select the asset from the drop-down list. First, we'll start with wrapped Bitcoin. We can enter the amount to deposit or use the max option, followed by deposit to your Surge account. This will send a transaction to the Radix wallet. Here we can sign the transaction and wait for confirmation. Next, we'll do the same for wrapped ETH. Again, we sign the transaction and wait for confirmation. Once complete, we can return to the Surge page and view the Collateral tab to see the value of our collateral. We've deposited our assets and can now make a short trade to begin earning the funding rate. We begin by selecting the Bitcoin pair, followed by an unleveraged short market trade using the widget. Reviewing the Collateral tab, we can set the value of our short position to be the same as our Bitcoin collateral. Next, we click Sell to send the transaction to the Radix wallet and sign. Now let's assume the value of Bitcoin increases. Any losses from our short position will be offset by the increase in value of our collateral, making us delta neutral. Now as long as we hold this position, and assuming the funding rates don't change, we can earn up to 67% APY, and in the case of ETH, up to 130% APY. Again, a brief word on risk. The main consideration with this strategy will be the funding rates. These are dynamic and change all the time, so it's crucial to periodically check that they're still working in our favour, and close any positions that are no longer profitable. It's also worth bearing in mind the size of the disparity between longs and shorts, as opening a large position which corrects the skew will reduce the APY available. And there we have it, 2 examples from Surge for high yield opportunities for your USDC, ETH and Bitcoin on Radix. I hope that was useful. If you have any questions, feel free to drop into our unofficial chat on Telegram or tag us on X. This is Captain Roburn, signing off.